President Biden today signed an executive order aiming at protecting reproductive rights in the wake of last month's Supreme Court decision. The White House saying the Secretary of Health and Human Services will issue a report outlining efforts to expand access to contraception, increase public outreach, provide new legal assistance to patients and doctors, and focus on protecting patient privacy. Doing more, the president said, calls for electing lawmakers this November who would support federal legislation protecting abortion access. But as CNN's Kyung La reports, it is a hot topic on the campaign trail in Nevada's Senate race.
In the battleground state of Nevada, the balance of the U.S. Senate,
The woman's right to choose is not a partisan issue.
may lie with abortion rights supporters like Susan Fisher.
I'm a registered Republican the day I turned 18.
How angry are you about what's happened on this issue?
On a scale of 1 to 10, about a 9.5.
That's pretty angry.
Yeah.
Angry enough to reject her party's Senate nominee and instead support a Democrat. In 1990, Nevada voters codified abortion access into the state constitution. Then, a young mother of two, Fisher was one of the activists who went door to door to convince voters. In the 2022 midterm, on the heels of Roe v. Wade being overturned, Fisher fears that work could be unspun.
I do think that this is going to be a pivotal issue for a lot of races, and especially in this state.
How many women out there do you think are like you?
I think a whole lot more than we know. I really do.
The opponent who is running against me would be the vote that would support a federal abortion ban.
The majority of Nevadans support abortion rights, and incumbent Senator Catherine Cortez Masto is seizing on the issue to hammer away at Republican Senate candidate Adam Laxalt.
My name is Adam Laxalt. I'm ready to fight for what is right.
Who is mounting a significant challenge backed by Donald Trump.
And there's no one more trustworthy in Nevada than Adam Laxalt.
Laxalt has said he will honor Nevada state constitution protecting abortion. But then audio obtained by the Nevada Independent suggests Laxalt wants to reverse the state constitution.
RoevWade was always a joke. It was a total, complete invention. We are not a pro-life state. We've got work to do on that.
Women are outraged because this is a state that we really respect women's freedom and the right to choose, and just outraged by what we see happening across the country.
But the outrage, front and center among voters, is on prices affecting their pocketbooks.
Gas prices, grocery prices, housing market, all that.
What do you want to tell the party in power right now about how you feel?
You let us down?
At this Reno grocery store, other Democrats say abortion rights are vital, but so is feeding their families tonight.
I am a registered Democrat, and I'm kind of debating on why. I'm not going to lie.
You know, Catherine Cortez Masto is on the ballot?
Yes.
Will you be voting for her?
I may be, actually. Maybe. We're going to see. I'm playing it all by ear right now.
Senator Cortez Masto is crisscrossing the state, talking not just to women, but also to working class Latinos. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump is scheduled to be here in Las Vegas this evening, rallying side by side with Adam Laxalt in order to energize Republican voters. Anderson?
Whatever you think of Amazon, pretty cool that they made it. Terminal List is based, of course, on a best-selling book by Jack Carr. He's one of the executive producers. He's a former Navy SEAL, one of the best-selling novelists in America. One of the good guys. Jack Carr, thanks so much for coming on. So it must please, first of all, congratulations on the book, the many books, this show, but it must please you in a way, not all viewers hate it, or not all critics hate it, but viewers like it much more than critics. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it falls right in line with everything that I understand about the current culture and climate in America right now. And it seems to have triggered quite a few of these critics. And I have a couple examples here. Daily Beast titled their review, "The Terminal List is an unhinged right-wing revenge fantasy," which is odd because right, left, conservative, liberal are not even mentioned in the show. But I think it may be because the protagonist is competent with weapons and tactics. He's strong. He holds those in power accountable. And that can be unsettling for some, particularly some maybe senior members of the military who have failed upwards over the last 20 years. They go on to write, "There is some serious danger to the Terminal List pandering to red state viewers with routine references to beer, guns, country music, and hunting. The Daily Beast does not like those things. It does not sound like it is much fun over there, but the 95% viewer rating, audience rating, makes it all worth it. We didn't make it for the critics. We made it for those in the arena. We made it for the soldier, sailor, airman, and Marine that went downrange to Iraq and Afghanistan so they could sit on the couch and say, hey, these guys put in the work, they put in the effort to make something special and make a show that speaks to them. And that 95% rating lets me know that we at least got close. And then one more line here. It's from TV Line. It says, the Fugitive meets SEAL Team meets a Don't Tread on Me truck decal. We're served up huge helpings of red meat masculinity and lots of American flags. They don't like American flags over there. Game Rant even cites Revolutionary War era Don't Tread on Me flags as a negative. So it's odd that both Game Rants and TV Line had to go back to the 1700s to take the side of the British in their reviews. I found that quite telling. But someone wrote a horrible review of one of my latest novel, In the Blood, and they said something along the lines of, what do you even call a book like this? And you call it a #1 New York Times best-selling novel. And someone wrote the same thing about this show, and you call that the #1 series on Prime Video. And I do want to thank Amazon, because they took a lot of risks with this show, and they took those risks with us. And so my hat is off to them, and I'm sincerely humbled and grateful.
Jack Carr, who not that long ago was wearing government-issued clothing, carrying a rifle in weird countries. It is just amazing how successful you have been and wonderful, wonderful to watch, for real. Jack Carr, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson tonight.
My body! My choice! My body! My choice! My body! My choice! My body!
Tonight, the Biden administration says it's going to provide Ukraine with 4 more highly coveted artillery rocket systems. This is part of a new $400 million security package. It comes as Russian troops have been making major gains in eastern Ukraine. Alex Marquardt is out front in Kharkiv, which is a region in the east where Ukrainian troops have been able to push the Russians back.
In downtown Kharkiv, this team of postal workers is gearing up for a trip to the front lines, a village that, until recently, was occupied by Russians. Their mission is critical. They have cars full of cash to deliver to Ukrainian pensioners who rely on the meager funds to survive. They drive past fields littered with mines to Vilkivka, where the older residents have already gathered in the small post office pockmarked by shrapnel. Only the most vulnerable people stayed here, says the head of today's operation. During the Russian offensive, it was impossible to evacuate these people. We come here because no one else will help them. Bills are counted out, and one by one they collect around $100 at the counter, their pension for an entire month. 78-year-old Stepania Leskiv has come from nearby. We walk back with her past a school that was destroyed. Stepania's home also lies in ruin, hit in late March. She bursts into tears at the sight of it and says the shelling happened right in front of her. The house started burning. I fell down and I managed to crawl out to the road, she said. In 20, 30 minutes, everything was burned down. She's staying with a neighbor, but worries what will happen when winter comes. She's a widow whose son died from the Chernobyl disaster. I wish it was over for me, she says. When the bombing starts, I don't know where to hide. Russian forces occupying much of this region have been pushed back by Ukrainian troops. Fear is growing they will try to come back soon. These Ukrainian soldiers claim they're ready. They might be stronger than us in numbers and in weapons. You know that, this soldier says. But we are much more motivated. We will be fighting until our last bullet so they don't take our land.
These Ukrainian forces have positioned this rocket launcher here among the trees to try to hide it on the edge of this field. This is called an Uragan. It's an old Soviet-era Ukrainian rocket launcher. It is much more basic with far less range than the handful of American rocket launchers that have just been given to the Ukrainian military. But this is what these troops have, and they tell us that their commanders today have given them the coordinates of a Russian position inside Ukraine to fire on. And in a couple of moments, they will drive this truck with its rockets a short distance away and target that Russian position.
The launcher rumbles into the middle of the field and fires 4 rockets in quick succession. Black smoke trailing into the sky. We move out in case there's a response, but the soldiers' day is just getting started. Alex Marquardt, CNN, Kharkiv, Ukraine.